So a new study just came out of Yale University looking at trauma and the brain, and what it found was that trauma was actually being highlighted in areas that weren't really associated with the past, not associated with memories. You see, when we have a memory, it needs to be sorted out and put into a filing system. Now, this filing system is in the back of our head. This filing system is in a part of our brain that deals with all that kind of stuff when we need it to, so it's there when we need it. Now, what they found was when we're looking at traumatic memories, instead of going back to that part of the brain, it's in a different part of the brain. It's in the front of the brain. It's in a part of the brain where the executive functions are taking place. This is like the CEO of the brain. So rather than this being a memory, when we access the traumatic memory, it becomes a present moment experience because fragments are still floating around in the wrong places. So this fragment of this traumatic memory from the past is actually happening as if it is being experienced in the present. Now, what does this mean for you or anyone who has experienced any type of trauma? Now, what this means is that when we're dealing with trauma, when we're looking at the memories, what we don't want to do it necessarily is go straight into that memory. Because when we do it, it feels like we're living it again and again and again. Instead, we need to find ways to detach from that memory, detach from that pain. Now, this can be done in many ways through different types of trauma therapy, whether it be EDMR, family systems, timeline therapy, where we're looking at ways to look at the trauma from a place, from a distance. So we're putting it back in the memory. We're creating our timeline, and when we're putting it back where it belongs, so that when we see it, we don't see it as this thing that's happening to us right now. When we're experiencing the memory, we see it as that was a memory. It's in the past. It's long gone. Lots of things have happened since then. I've built up so much resilience. I'm a lot safer. I feel good since the memory. You know, we've got this massive timeline, and we're in the memory. But we're not. We want to be out of the memory. We want to be like, there's the memory, and I can just kind of see it miles away in the distance. Not, there's the memory, and I feel like it's overwhelmed me. I feel like it's taking me over, taking control of me. So what can we do? Now, again, we've got these different therapies I've just talked about, but you can do something yourself. You can work on being mindful. This means that when you're being mindful, you're practicing ways to detach from your thoughts. So if you have a thought, whatever it is, you detach every day by practicing mindfulness from the random, boring thoughts that come across. So when you get triggered, when you get this traumatic thought come up again, you now have a tool, you have a mechanism to cope with it. And that mechanism to cope with it is being able to pull back. The mechanism to cope with it is being able to detach. That mechanism to cope with it is understanding that, hey, I can see you there, but at the same time, I can keep my cognitive functions going. The CEO can still work and be like, there you are. No, you're not going to trigger me this time. I know you're still activating around here, but you know what? You're from the past. So you can even kind of like talk to that memory and allow that memory to slowly drift back into the past, because you learned this skill called mindfulness, which I'm telling you is really, really important. I know for myself, I know for my journey, it was extremely important. It was one of those things that I found gave me the ability to let go of any anxiety, let go of past traumas, and even push past depression. So if you're experiencing any of them things, if you're experiencing some CPTSD, if you're experiencing a narcissistic abusive relationship, if you're trying to move forward, if you're having flashbacks from the past, I would recommend mindfulness. I would recommend doing that yourself, as well as the other therapies. Now, if you want to learn more about this, then check out the links above, and we've got some things that you can do and help you with. But other than that, please make sure you spend this time working on yourself. It's like building a house. You have to lay the foundations, you have to do things in the right order, you have to work on it every day. And once you've built that house, there's still going to be maintenance that needs to happen. So this isn't a journey of you've got there and like now I'm healed and everything's perfect. This is a journey of I'm buying a house, I'm going to live in the house. But living in the house means you maintain it and you pay your water bills and you do all the stuff that needs to happen. You cut the grass every week, Because if you don't, then soon it becomes overgrown, and then when the traumatic memory comes, that's when it becomes scary. That is not the enjoyable part of healing. The enjoyable part of healing is just doing a little bit every day and doing it for life. This has got to be a new life, a new you, so that you have the resistance. Because if you don't do this every day, when it comes back, it will come back every day, and it will keep coming back, and it will, before you know it, it will become subconsciously in front of your brain, in the CEO, making decisions for you. Decisions that you wouldn't have made if you were thinking clearly, if you were thinking with clarity. Now, if you found this video useful, please like, please share, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.